Shalom. With the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, underneath Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated or associated with any other Israelite group. Tonight's class is Monday night. It is scripture breakdown class. We're going to go into some topics. We're going to go into some scriptures. We're going to break some things down, man. And tonight it's going to be another heavy class, man. Tonight's class, man, is based, it's going to be going into the voting, man. At the beginning of the year, everybody was in a rush to vote. I forgot when they did the presidential election sometime last year. Everybody was in the uproar to vote. You had all these different campaigns. You had everybody saying, let's vote, let's get out here and make this happen. And, everybody voted. All of our people voted. Blacks voted. Hispanics voted. Native Indians voted. And everybody was in a rush to try and get Donald Trump out of the chair. Everybody was tired of seeing Donald Trump in the chair because Donald Trump was showing the world the true colors of the Caucasian race. He was showing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how Caucasian people truly felt about us as a people. They expressed their hatred more ever than they have in, the past 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Within 4 years, you had Caucasian people expressing how they truly felt about us, man. There was more fights, more brutality, more racism. You had your Karens on an uproar then and everybody going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so our people were able to see who we were truly dealing with when it comes to the Caucasian people. All of those people that you think are your friends, that work with you, your buddies, y'all might have the same football team. Y'all all get along pretty good, but when Donald Trump was in the chair, we were able to see how the Caucasian race truly felt about us. All of that racism that they had balled up inside of them, it was able to be released with somebody that was there as president who understood, them as a nation and people. You know what I'm saying? He was able to say something that they felt like they couldn't say. You know what I'm saying? So he had more Caucasian people cracking that shell and revealing who they truly were. So with that being said, our people went out and voted. They went out and did what we always do. We always vote Democrat. So our people went and voted for the next Democrat that was right in line, Joe Biden. Joe Biden said all type of horrible things. Joe Biden got up there and said, if you're black and you said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. He said that on the Breakfast Club, if I'm not mistaken, on one of the blackest radio shows in the African American culture. He got up on there and said, you're not black if you don't vote for me. And what did our people say? What did our people do? They went and voted. They still went and supported him. Even with that statement that he mentioned, our people still went in and voted for him. They still went in for Joe Biden. They went and voted for Joe Biden. 2021, guess what? Guess who's president? Joe Biden. Joe Biden is president. Black folk got what they wanted. Your Christian church got what they wanted.
That's right.
They got a new slave master. Dirty Joe, he's in the chair now. And when Dirty Joe got in the chair, to show his appreciation to the black community, those people who he told, you're not black if you don't vote for me, to show his appreciation to our people, the thing that he did on his first day in office, to show his appreciation to black folks, his thing that he did was he signed in a law for transgenders to get same equality as as everybody else. He signed in the law stating that now transgenders can play in female sports, or whatever race they classify themselves as, they can now participate in those sports. So if you have a woman who's saying she's a man, she can go play basketball. Or if you have a man who thinks he's a woman, he can go play in the female sports league. And it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly legal. Can't nobody stop him from doing that, or him or her, whatever they call themselves.
That's right.
But that is the first thing that Joe Biden pushed into law for black as a token of appreciation to black folks. Because Joe Biden said he represents that culture, that homosexual culture, that LGBTQ, whatever else letters community. He represents that community. So that was the first thing that he did. But last week, black folk got even a more rude awakening. They thought, with him being in the chair, things were truly going to change. But we all can see, with us turning on our TVs, we see nothing has changed. We see the police officers still shooting us in the streets. We still see that we're still being murdered on camera. And now it seems like it has been intensified even more, like they're turning up the notch a lot more when it comes to killing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians on camera. We had a video that I cannot watch and I won't play it, of the 15-year-old sister who was shot by the police officer because some girls came to her house and tried to fight her, and she had a knife, and she didn't even charge the police officer. The police officer didn't even make an attempt to pull out the taser. He just pulled out his firearm and murdered the 15-year-old sister, shot her 5 times in front of her family, in front of her house, on camera, and he had no remorse. No remorse, no compassion, wasn't even sad about it. Just told everybody to get back. Murdered this sister, man. 15 years old, shot her. On body cam, in front of her whole family, man. Just like the young brother, man. I forgot the young brother who got killed in Chicago, 13 years old, man. On camera, the police officer shoots him in the chest. Shoots him in the chest on video and drops the brother, then still makes an attempt to search him while he's bleeding with this hole inside of his chest, man. Dang. But this is what we voted for, This is what black folk voted for. This is what we fought hard and marched up and down the streets for. Y'all wanted to get rid of President Trump. You got rid of him. Now you got Dirty Joe in the chair, and what has changed? What has changed? Nothing. You got it, young. Get her sister hand. She's right. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. That sister is right. Nothing has changed, man. Everything's still the same. It's like you got a new president, but you still living the same life. So like I'm gonna get slide surf. I'm gonna get. All right, come. So I'm gonna get Psalms chapter 109 verse 6.
Psalms chapter 109 verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand.
That's what we did, man. We set a wicked man over us, man. We thought voting for Joe Biden was going to really help us, man. We really thought that our savior was going to be the same person who helps to oppress us, man. You don't think Joe Biden's behind closed doors thinking of all type of ways to destroy you and oppress you and to make things even worse for you? You don't think that? You really think Joe Biden's back there with Kamala Harris, thinking of ways on how they can make the black community better? No, they're not, man. With all of these shootings going on of unarmed black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people, I have yet heard anything from Kamala Harris.
That's right.
All you sisters who are on Facebook posting, we got a black woman in the chair finally, now we got somebody to represent us, Y'all have been fooled and bamboozled again.
Damn right.
Where's Kamala Harrison now? If Kamala Harrison truly loved black women like black women love Kamala Harrison, where was she at when that 15-year-old sister got shot by that devil, man? Where was she at to speak up on that situation? Since she's a so-called black woman, and that was a young black sister who got murdered and killed, where was she at? Why didn't she speak on the situation? She didn't say anything. You didn't hear her say anything at all. She didn't mention anything. She didn't get up on the news to speak on anything. And of course, sisters are going to defend her. You know what they're going to say? Well, you know, she's busy. She has a lot of things to do. You know, she going to make time for it when she make time. They did the same thing with Barack Obama, and 8 years passed by and nothing changed with him either. Everybody made an excuse for Barack Obama, and now everybody's going to make an excuse for Kamala Harris. What you going to do next? Make an excuse for Joe Biden too as well? Because Joe Biden hasn't said anything about the killings and the murderings of unarmed black people, unarmed brown people, and Native Indians. Neither one of them have had anything to say about this situation, man. Just like I said, can we read it from the top again, sir?
Psalms, chapter 109, verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him, and let Satan stand at his right hand.
Good night. And that's what's going on with Joe Biden right now, man. Satan is at his right hand. What is your right hand? That's your power hand. That's what Joe Biden right now, he has Satan in his hand, man. He's signing all type of bills and things into, negotiating with different people about how they can make things better for other people. You know, making all these destructive laws, and we're going to go in and show you one of these laws that were passed, man. Let me show you one of these laws that your president, Dirty Joe, passed, man.
Getting your business started does not have to be daunting.
I'm just getting.
Let's show you what your president, Joe Biden, passed there, man.
For the best price.
At a time when Washington is increasingly bitter and divided, the Senate came together today to overwhelmingly denounce and tackle hate against Asian Americans.
I'm going to let y'all listen to what he just said. He said the Senate, even though they are divided, they came together to pass a law. Now, we all know how the Senate feels about each other. We know about them hating each other from them arguing back and forth about the stimulus checks. Who wants to pass this check? Let's not pass the checks. They going back and forth about the stimulus checks. And does anybody in the comment section know why they were going back and forth about the stimulus checks? See if anybody's paying attention. Who knows why they were going back and forth about the stimulus checks? I know we know out of one. Does anybody know why they were going back and forth, the Senate, why they were going back and forth about the stimulus checks?
Because they would rest at our?
Huh?
They would rest at our place?
Close, but no lie.
I got one quick answer up here.
Kind of, sir.
Young man Quan said they really didn't want us to have them.
That's kind of right down the head. It's kind of it. But I'll take that for time's sake. Well, I'll see if anybody else can throw a couple answers out there.
Raise your hand when you want to say something. Don't talk out in class, okay?
Sorry, nobody else, sir.
Nah.
We'll take the brother young man's corn answer. Give him a hand because he's right. That's what they were arguing about. They were upset because they didn't want blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians to get that money.
That's right.
They didn't want us to get it. The Democrats wanted us to get it. The Republicans didn't want us to get it.
About Rashad, if I could.
Kind of what kind, sir?
Just to add a little bit of my little, input on it. What people don't understand is where do they get the money from, right? You black Hispanics and Native Indians may not know where they're getting that money from to be able to give you that money. That money is coming out of the pockets of the rich white man in this earth.
Right.
That's the reason why they hate it.
Right.
Because Biden has to tax, he has to tax the so-called rich white man. You understand? That's what the whole battle between the Democrats and the Republicans are concerning the stimulus, right? Concerning Medicaid, concerning all of the things, food stamps,
Right.
all of the things that the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians and minority communities would need, right? Those, in order to have those things, to have a surplus of money of those things, they have to tax the rich. They have to tax those who have a lot of money, big Fortune 500 companies, those who are good, who are well established. And because we live in a filthy, evil, wretched place full of greed and hatred towards Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, that's why they fight against the stimulus.
Right.
That's why they fight against anything that would be beneficial to our growth here in America, that would allow us to survive, to feed our babies, to be able to pay our damn bills, so we won't get evicted, which is something that ain't foreign to Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Hell, we get evicted damn near all the time.
Right.
You understand? And you ever wonder why you ain't got no goddamn what they call it? Black folks been asking for this thing for 500 years. What's the word?
I got it on top of my head.
That 3 acres or that 10 acres in a mule.
Reparations.
You wonder why you ain't getting reparations? Because the white man don't want you to have that.
Right.
You're not going to get that. Because that means they have to give up their riches that they raped, robbed, and murdered you to get. They would defeat the point. They raped, robbed, and murdered you to get that money. Why the hell would they give you the money back?
Right.
That's how they established themselves in this earth. You understand? So they're not going to give you this damn money back. You understand? And if you wonder why, you understand, they're fighting right now over who gets what, you got to understand the thing about Republicans and Democrats. Sarah, fix your shirt. One thing you got to learn about Republicans and Democrats, right, is that neither one of them are for Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Each one of them have their own method or ideology or doctrine as to how to keep God's people in the ghettos. You understand? The Republicans are just more open with the racism. Democrats is, they try to act like they with you. They march with you. They give you a stimulus and money. But they the ones that's secretly putting the dope inside of your damn communities. They're the ones that's secretly giving you, you all kinds of sicknesses and ailments through your food and your vaccines and all that kind of stuff. You understand? That's what's going on with that. They're fighting against, like every fight, every battle in government, you thinking that it's a battle between white folks about white folks. Everything that the white man does on this earth, everything that any country does on this earth is based on you, Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
And you don't understand it, that you are the center of every single battle, whether it be between the Republicans, the Democrats, America, Russia, Iran, whoever. Every battle that goes on is because of the legislation or whatever principles or whatever laws they're trying to put in place to keep you from becoming who the Most High wanted you to be.
Right.
That's what that's all about. So like, if I could, that was it.
Nah, lie. That's heavy as hell, sir. Come on, get out of one hand. All right. Like I don't want to say, this is exactly what it's about, man. You got big breadwinners who don't want to cough up the money. They don't want to give up the money, man. And trust me, I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? You've been the devil your whole life. The last thing you want to do is have to give up any of your finances to help support the same people that you have enslaved and murdered and robbed and killed, man. It's like it. That defeats the whole purpose, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't want to say, that's the reason why they didn't want to give us the stimulus check, man. They didn't want us to have that money. They didn't want us to get not one penny out of that money, man. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats, they fighting back and forth. So we think. But like they just said, he said the Democrats and the Republicans came together to pass this bill we're talking about right now. And let's find out what was that bill that they were fighting Well, they did not fight. Like, this is the first time for me. Like, I always see them fighting and talking smack about each other, throwing shoes at each other. You know what I'm saying? Doing all type of spiteful things to each other. But let's find out, what did they do and came together on what they didn't argue to pass a bill on? Let's find out.
Senators passed the COVID-19 hate crimes bill 94-1. Only the Missouri Republican Josh Hawley voted no, calling it too broad. The rest of the United States Senate disagreed.
I cannot tell you how important this bill is to the AAPI community, who often has felt very invisible in our country, to be the victims of unprovoked, just random assaults on them as they are minding their own business. As important as the content and substance of the bill is.
Come on, I can't even listen to this.
It's sick, man.
This is very disgusting. Senate came together 94-1 to pass a bill to protect the Asian community for hate crimes. Because we all know Donald Trump got in the chair and he was up there talking, and he called the coronavirus the Kung Flu virus.
A lot of people also call it the Chinese virus.
Good. Wow. Hey, Donald Trump, I liked it, Donald Trump, man. Shout out to Donald Trump for being a real devil, man. I liked him, man. He was funny, but he was a real devil. He was what you would want a devil to be. You know what I'm saying? But he made it to where, you know, he put the stigma out there that the coronavirus was brought here by Chinese people. So with that being done, I guess they was feeling like the Asian community was being attacked and being brutalized and being targeted. So the Senate, 94-1, pushed a bill into existence which would protect the Asian community. But this is what I don't understand. When the coronavirus was going around and Asian people were being attacked, when Donald Trump said what he said about the Asian community, they must forget that Donald Trump was also talking bad about blacks and Hispanics.
That's right.
Now, where is the bill to protect the blacks and Hispanics? You know, you got to remember, he called the brothers, the tribe of Issachar, which are the so-called Hispanics, Mexicans, he called them rapists. He called them rapists and built a stigma off of that on them, to where everybody thinks they're just rapists and child molesters and immigrants. He did the same thing with black men here in America. What did he say? What did he tell the brother? He said, they better be glad it's not like the old days. We'll take them out back. You know what I'm saying? Then he said he told the police officers, when they arrest us, rough us up. He said that on national TV at one of his Ku Klux Klan rallies. He said that. He said, police officers, when you arrest a black man, rough him up, slam his head on the car. You know, do various things to him. And this is my question. Did the police listen to that? Did the police listen to what Donald Trump said to do to black men when you pull them over?
Yes.
That's right. Get that sister here. They did. They listened to him. Because when I was turning on my TV, I seen the police brutality get turned up a notch. We just seen the video with George Floyd last year with a knee on his neck. So guess what that says? The police officers listened to what Donald Trump had to say. They took their order. But where was the bill and laws passed to protect us? Where's the so-called African American Protection Bill? Or the so-called Mexican Hispanic bill, crime bill to be passed?
So, like, if I could,
Kind, sir.
what's so goddamn horrific about this whole ordeal right here, and this is why we tell you black Hispanics and Native Indians, you are living in nightmare. This is like a 400 and something year nightmare you're living in right now.
Right.
This bill gets passed in the name of the Asians.
Good night.
Right? The name of the Asians, to protect the Asians. Meanwhile, you get a sister.
Soda.
You understand? There's there over here. So like, not Zach, come here. When they get so right there. In the name of the Asians, they passed this bill to protect them. Meanwhile, not too long out there in North Carolina, a sister gets choked out by a goddamn Asian. What was the bill to protect her from that goddamn Asian? We protected Asians, and Asians is treating us like the way the so-called white man treat us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Doris, I appreciate this.
yeah, no sweat. Know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a horrible thing. Like, you black Hispanics and individuals, you better learn today. You will live in a nightmare. There is nothing here to protect you, man. The only thing you good enough for, the white man, is entertainment, slavery, you know what I'm saying, and spending money to boost the economy. Other than that, you are nothing to them, man. You understand? You are nothing to none of these nations. Even the Asians don't respect you.
Right.
You go to parts of China and Japan right now, you cannot go in a restaurant unless you have an Asian friend. You think I'm lying? Look it up.
Good
In
night.
Japan today, you cannot go inside of an Asian restaurant or some of those stores. They have a sign that says that no black or Negro people in here unless you have an Asian friend.
Damn.
You cannot walk up in there unless you walk up in there with an Asian. Then you're fine. You understand? They hate you. And yet we're supposed to, you don't realize when you rallying for civil rights and when you rallying behind all lives matter, you're supporting everybody else except for your goddamn self.
Right.
You're supporting the Asians. You're supporting the gays, the lesbians, the damn transgenders, the women's movement, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Who cares about you?
Right.
Nobody does, man, except for the Most High, except for the Israelite School of Universal Practice under Commander General Yohana, man.
Damn right,
That's the
sir.
only people who care about you. That's
Damn
all
right,
I'm
sir.
saying.
Damn right. I don't want to say it so heavy, man, that he's right, because we are the only ones who care about you, man. You know what I'm saying? We are the only ones who get out here and stay on these street corners to wake our people up, man. And try to teach our people, what to do and what not to do, man. We went and voted for Joe Biden, and they passed a bill for the Asians to get protection. For the Asians to get, protection. So you mean to tell me, you mean to tell me that some Asian who's not even legal would be protected by the same police officers, I appreciate it, sir, that murder and shoot us in the streets? So our tax dollars go to protect the Asians. Do you know how many illegal Chinese, Japanese are over here in America? Tons. Now they have a bill that has been passed to protect them. Do you know how puffed up and proud they're going to be now? How many Asians did you see marching in the 60s? Did you see the Asians in the 60s marching, yelling out, no Jughead, no pee. No Jughead, no pee. You did not see that. You didn't see Bruce Leroy with the Chinese Lives Matter shirt on. You didn't see none of that, man. You didn't see none of that. You seen us out there marching. And I don't want to say all of that marching, even that, but I would want to see the leader of the Black Lives Movement, the leader down here, Bruce Willis. I would like to see him and ask him, how does he feel now knowing that this bill has been passed? Because the Asians have beat us. They beat us to the punch. What we've been marching for, they got it. What you've been in the streets protesting for, they now have it. And the Senate, with a vote to 94-1, came together to push it. So what does this show you? Marching is not going to help.
That's right.
Begging is not going to help.
That's right.
It is all about us coming back together, man. And I'm going to put you on some game, man. Let me put you on something about those Asians. Those Asians worship the same God. Even though it's Buddha or that stupid cat with the one arm going up like this, they all worship the same thing. They are all on one accord. They all do the same thing. You know, they eat the same garbage and trash. They do the same thing. They are one as a people. But blacks here in America, Hispanics and Native Indians, we are not one as a people, man.
That's right.
That's why everybody else is able to come here and get established and overcome all of the things in America and get rights. We haven't came back to our God. Everybody else comes together. The Arabs do it. The Chinese do it. The Japanese do it. The Africans do it. They all come together and serve whatever type of trash God that they got. You know, they do their own thing and they move up in America. But us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we all on different paths. We all worshiping this and we worshiping that. We doing this, we doing that, and we doing this. And we can't come together. And we just continue to go farther and farther back. But yet these heathens come together and get bills like this pushed, man. Black Lives Matter has failed the black community also, man. Just another one added on the list, man.
But if I could, man.
Count on, sir.
What's so heavy is that, just like I said before, man, that Black Lives Matter garbage was not for you.
Right.
It was not for you. It was never for you. Just like voting, suffrage, you think suffrage was for you. You think suffrage was so that you could get rights. And you just were so happy about being able to vote because you wanted to feel so much like being a citizen in America or being one with the so-called white man. You don't realize that none of this is for you.
Right.
These movements, you go and do the research. You find out the origins of the leaders, of the philosophy of the leaders who started the Black Lives Movement, who started the All Lives Movement, who started all of these movements, the women's rights movement, the LGBT movement. You understand? All of that was for the agenda of every other person other than you.
Right.
Like Abban said, the brother said, the Asians beat us to the punch. They got what we've been marching for 40, 50, 60 years. And when was the last time you see an Asian get knocked upside the head with a baton? When was the last time you see the Asian get jacked up and thrown around and beat the crap out of them? When was the last time you seen an Asian with a knee on his neck and he begging for dear life to live? When was the last time you seen that happen to an Asian?
Right.
And yet and still, the Asians are more loved in this place than your black tail, man. The Asians and every other nation is more loved. I see this and I think about my brothers down there at the border. My ISUPKRIBE brothers down at the border in the cages dying. The children down there in the cages dying. Who's protecting Issachar?
Right.
Who's protecting the Mexicans, man? Who are out there dying by the hands of the so-called white man? Nobody's protecting them, man. You know who is getting protected? The Asians. They getting protected. One incident when somebody commits a crime against them, which is unfortunate that it happened, but one crime that happens to them and they get protection under the goddamn law. And you black man, you are free game, nigga. You are free game, nigga. You are free game. And that's how it's been since we've been in this empire. You better separate. Shalom. That's all I have to say, all right?
Good night, Karen. And this is just another sad day for Israel, man. Another L on countless L's that we continue to take here in America, man. It's like, when will we learn? So, like I said, if we could, sir. Could we get Proverbs 1 and 22, sir?
Come. Proverbs. Is that Proverbs 1:22?
Kind on, sir.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22. How long, ye simple ones?
How long, you simple ones, man? Because a lot of our people who put their faith in America, they're simple, man. A lot of your black leaders who tell you to go march and vote and all of this, they are simple, man. All of them black leaders, man. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, even your pastors. Most of them pastors are becoming politicians. Just like that pastor that was at the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, the one Martin Luther King was at. He's become a politician in Georgia now. These people are all simple. And when you have these people as your leaders, they teach you how to be simple.
That's right.
Now you have a nation full of simple black folks who think they know what they're doing.
That's right.
And that's why the scripture says this right here. It's like, sir, you got it, sir.
How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
How long will you love simplicity, man? You know what I'm saying? The dislike and disrespect. You know, how long are you going to continue to like this? Like, you have to be stupid and for you to enjoy the brutality that we're facing, man. Here in America, being beat, being shot on police, being murdered in the streets, the abortion clinics, the drugs. Like, it's just so many things that plagues us as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The list goes on, man. It's like a never-ending cycle of hell. No matter what you do, no matter what you try to do in this place, school and all of that, you're not able to get ahead in this place, man.
That's right.
We're just in hell, man. And it's like, even though we're going through this hell, our people are still simple as hell, man. It's like you tell them, like, man, look, man, we got to separate from white folks. Oh, you just being racist. You just being racist. So what the hell is this bill that's being passed? What is that bill? That's not racist? Because America just targeted one race, one nation of people and gave them rights. I guess America's racist too, right? Because they targeted out the Asians and gave them rights. And black folks have been here for over 400 years. Let's not even talk about the so-called Latinos and Native Indians who have been here forever, just about. And what rights have been given to them? None. But yet we should still just love everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just, turn your music on and chill. I think a couple of weeks ago, everybody was celebrating 420, getting high they damn mind, getting so high they nose start bleeding, just retarded as you could be. So high you can't even drive. We doing stuff like that while the Asians are getting bills like this passed for protection.
Right.
And this is the problem that we have in the black community, man, in the Native Indian community, the Latino community. We have weak leaders, man, who are simple, who are stupid, who don't know anything at all, man. And they cause us to err out here, man. We just following behind them. We have come in a even more worse position, man. Listening to these black leaders, it was crazy, man. We brothers and sisters. Good night.
I think it might be connected to the Bluetooth. You gotta reach over there and turn that stereo.
Audio device disconnected.
Brothers and sisters, we was having camp. All of ISUPK, we was having camp. While having camp last year telling black folks not to vote, we had to go through hell. We had to go through hell with our people telling our people not to vote.
That's right.
They telling us, oh, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all stupid. We got to vote for somebody else because if we don't vote for nobody else, Trump's going to be in the chair again. He's going to make it hard on us. There are countless arguments, especially from them older Judites, man. You older Judites, good night. Y'all just finished like Mortal Kombat. Finish him. I mean, old Judah just like, damn, they such a slave. They got to vote for somebody. It could be a rabbit with a shotgun. I'm vote for him. I'm going to vote for him. And it was like they were just trying to push it out there that we got to vote. We got to vote. And what did we do? We voted. We did what we were told. We voted. You know what I mean? We went out there and voted, man. And nothing happened, man. So you can finish that, sir. Sir.
God. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning?
Right, and they delight in their dislike for us, man. They delight in it. They just love it. You know what I'm saying? You got it, sir.
And fools hate knowledge.
And fools hate knowledge, man. You know, what do you think we was out there on the streets for telling you before you voted? Because we seen all of this happening before. We seen all of this in the midst of everything. We was telling you and warning you, like, listen, if you go out here and vote for Joe Biden, he's going to make things worse. No, man, no, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. We got to vote for somebody. But like the scripture said, a fool hates knowledge, man.
That's right.
You hate the knowledge that we were trying to give you. You hated it. Now you finna find out the consequences of you hating this knowledge.
That's right.
You're finna learn the hard way. Like, it's only what? It's only May, 5 months into this year. And already it's already been hell. Police officers killing us. You know, Joe Biden passing laws for transgenders. You know, the Asian community got the bill passed for them to get rights. You know, the list goes on and on. That's because our people hate the knowledge that we have tried to give them. You know, Commander General Yohanan has held on to this truth, and he's prophesied that all of these things were going to happen to us.
It's like if I could.
Come on, sir.
And just to go a little bit deeper, man, this is how far the rabbit. This is more proof that you are destroyed as a nation, right? Because let's just say that the reason why America was so urgent in passing this bill is because they didn't want to have to explain to the larger to the nations, the Asian nations, what is going on with the Asians inside of this country.
Right.
You understand? Because they have to explain. You understand? Because then there could be a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? With those other nations. Black man, Hispanic and Native Indian man, what nation is going to defend you?
Right.
You don't have a nation. You are a slave here in America. So who's going to be over there on the other side of the seas saying, we got to stop and protect black people? Who are you waiting on? Nelson Mandela?
He did.
Nelson Mandela only cared about the South Africans. He don't care about your black behind. You know why? Because you're not even African. You understand? Who else are you waiting on? Vladimir Putin?
Good night.
He don't care about you. He may hate America, but he hates you more.
Right.
You understand? Well, who else you waiting on? You waiting for Kim Jong-un? Kim Jong-un don't give a damn about you. He may know your history. He may know how bad America has treated us, but that ain't his issue. His issue is his country.
Right.
Their issue is their people. The Asians are getting treated right, man, because America better treat them right when you got people across the seas who are watching every move that they make dealing with their people or concerning their people. But who do you have to defend you, black man? Not a goddamn soul. Everybody on this earth hates you.
Damn. That's facts, out of one, and that's heavy you said that, other one, because now we starting to see that we are slaves here in America. You know, now black folk really starting to get it, and they starting to kind of get the realization that, yes, we are slaves. There's truly nobody here to stand up for us when it comes to the abuse and brutality that is happening to us. You know, we have to stand up for ourselves.
So,
You know, we have to literally go out on the streets and march and protest. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see so many protests, because we don't have anybody to represent us. You know, the Chinese, they got stealth bombers, they got new aircraft holders and all type of things. They have a nation of people to represent them. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have any of that, man. We don't have none of that. Black folk don't have their own nuclear missiles. Black folk don't have their own helicopters or planes to fight and go to war when their people are being abused. Like I don't want to say it, we are truly slaves here in America, man. We're just slaves. And now you're starting to see. Now you're starting to see why when we get murdered and shot in the streets, nobody does anything about it.
that's right.
Why nobody has anything to say. You know, now you're starting to see these other countries, like everybody thinks that we're African. Everybody loves to say that they African. I guess Negroes is from Wakanda. Because I don't see the Nigerian. Zamuna. What's the place Eddie Murphy was from in that movie? That nigga was from Zamuna. Let's see if Eddie Murphy come rescue us. You know, he's a prince in Africa. Somebody got to come save us from Africa. But the Chinese, they got help. The Japanese, they got help. The East Indians, they have help. But you black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, we ain't got no damn help. Who you gonna call? Tyrone? That's the only person you can call. And that's why it's so important for us to be inside of this truth, man. You know, we just had the Passover, man. Big shout out to that 52nd annual Passover, which was glorious as hell. You know, so much brotherhood and sisterhood. But we need to remember the Passover, man. We need to remember what our ancestors did in order for the Most High to come and defeat our enemies.
That's right.
Because the same thing that's happening to us now, it was happening to us in Egypt, man. We were being brutalized, man. It's like it. We were being brutalized. We were being beat. We were being murdered. And what we had to do in Egypt was, we had to call on a higher power, man. We had to call on our Father, the Most High, man, to help us and protect us and save us, man. That's what we had to do. You know, we couldn't depend on Egypt to save us. We couldn't depend on the other surrounding nations outside of Egypt to save us. We really had to call on the Most High, man. And we're getting back to that time now where black folks, Native Indians, and so-called Hispanics are starting to wake up and realize we have to call on a higher power, man.
That's right.
Because we can't depend on men of this earth to protect us, man. We can't depend on these other nations to help us and have the best, you know, and want best for our people.
That's right.
How you gonna expect the so-called Africans to want best for your people when they're trying to get the best for their people? Mm-hmm. How you gonna expect the so-called the Spaniards to want best for Mexico when they're trying to do what's best for Spain? No different, and it goes on and on with these other nations.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's looking for the best interest of their people. Black man, Hispanic man, and Native Indian man, it's time for us to look for the best interest on what's good for us, man. It's time for us to separate from these other nations. We went out and voted. We have been voting for years, thinking that we were going to get our point across by voting. But yet again, we have been disappointed again.
That's right.
Yet again. It's like you had something right, sir?
No, that was
okay.
Good.
Oh, we had no comments in there, did we, sir?
Let's see.
Like, yet again, we have been disappointed again, man. You know, our leaders ain't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because if I'm not mistaken, I think it's black folks on the Senate as well. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm right.
I think it's black folks that hold some of them chairs in the Senate, too.
Like if I could.
Kind, sir.
That big buck-tooth coon.
Tim Scott.
Yeah, good Lord, man.
That nigga's a black Bugs Bunny, man.
Salakia.
Good night.
He is Salakia. He is like, if you could draw the image of the traditional, original American coon, that nigga is the perfect picture. He's the perfect. I mean, just a buck-tooth, Jiminy Cricket, Slewfoot, hopping. I don't know, man. I can't even. The brother is just a horrible brother, man.
That nigga's a real.
He is taken by the society. I mean, brother is in the sucker zone. Salakia.
That nigga Tim Scott, boy. And he's from South Carolina.
And it's seen, and man, so like, I hate to say it, because as long as I've been in South Carolina, I've grown to love being here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work to do out here in South Carolina. You got a lot of destroyed brothers and sisters, and I enjoy being out here, man. But one thing I will say is that South Carolina probably is the cesspool of coons.
Right.
This is where it all begins. Salakia.
Hey, Salakia, sir. That is a fact. You know, I got cooned out by a brother who rides in the truck with me every day at the slavery. Soon as I didn't come to work, this nigga cooled me out. I'm talking about, damn. Soon as he got the chance, it's a like it, sir. He has a bald head like Tim Scott and everything. Soon
What is
as
up with these Negroes in the bald head? So like it. Do they get together and say we must all wear a bald head?
brothers with bald heads and who like white women just all come together and be like, what can we do to get rid of these uprising Negroes? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm convinced. Like
I mean, and the hairs, it's like, I know this is kind of off topic, but the hairs be clean shaven too. I mean, just straight razor shaving. You got the oil on it, just shining and gleaming in the sun. And
damn.
you know, come on, man.
Like, I cannot trust a brother who does not have no facial hair or no hair in his head. He out there looking like a cancer patient. But he is willing to sell your tail up the river.
Damn right.
Like, good night. Tim Scott, if I could pull a picture up of Tim Scott, it might make kids scream when they see his picture, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, time after time, man. Like, when are we going to learn, man? What more has to happen for us to come to a realization and realize, man, this place isn't for us, man. Like, this place isn't for us. They passed this bill, man, to show you, man, that this isn't your place. I'm going to see if this video got any more
Important
sense.
as the
I'm going to read it.
content and substance of the bill is the message of this bill that we in the Senate are going to stand with our API community.
Well, the bill gives incentives to police to keep track of hate crimes.
I'm so like it. Can I say something?
Kind of want to
So this bill in essence takes the police and makes the police a safe or kind of like, how can I explain this shit, man? So like it's giving Asians a personal bodyguard or a like. Man, it's like I don't even know the right words. You might know what I'm trying to say, Abon.
I would go with security guard.
Exactly. It's like it's giving them some security. It's like now the police, other than beating the crap out of a nigga, the police has to worry about making sure an Asian is protected. Okay. Like that's now part of their job in the police department. Is to make sure that a nigga get his brain smashed out, but an Asian gets protected.
They have a notebook with that in there. They open the notebook up and it says Monday morning, beat a nigga and protect the Asian. And he's reading this after he just watched Rush Hour.
That's crazy, man.
Like, good night, man. Come on, man.
It's like it's speaking of Rush Hour. And speaking of all of those old Asian 70s films and stuff with the martial arts and stuff, all of that stuff was supposed to have so-called unified black and Asian people. Why was they trying to do that? Because black and Asian people ain't never got along even in that time period.
Right.
So bring one commonality together. Bring an Asian and a brother. And you got to understand, like, it's no different than how we worship the so-called white man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We see the power that he has. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we already select it. We already, you know what I'm saying, worship, so-called white Jesus.
Good
which
night.
is the worship of the white man. It's no different, you know what I'm saying, in that time period where we worship people like Bruce Lee. We wanted to be fast and quick like him. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to be able to move the way he moved. We just thought the Asians were the baddest martial artists in the damn world.
Damn,
you understand? And so it's like we try to be like them so bad that we even imitate them. That's why they came out with the movies like Bruce Leroy.
Bruce
you know
Leroy.
Yeah, Bruce Leroy. You got niggas dressing up in gis and, whatever. Even though we really the baddest martial artists in the world.
That's a fact, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. But we trying to be like them. Instead of being a standard into where they can be like us, we trying to be like them. You know what I'm saying? right now, it's just a horrible thing, man. Because it's like right now we're trying our best to be like a people that hate us. You know what I'm saying? And in this time period, we're still not even equal. Like when you're not, like black people fought all these years to be equal to everybody else, but we're not equal. You know, outside of America's system, we're not equal. The Lord made us to be separate.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you want to be so intertwined with the white man's culture and make him love you and accept you into this society that you don't even realize, man, how detrimental that is to your nation, to your children. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's killing us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the more we try to fight to be part of them, the more they, in essence, defecate on us, man. You know what I'm saying? By passing these bills that protect the so-called Asians, but destroy you and murder you and kill you.
Good night.
You know what I'm saying? While you trying to be an Asian or you trying to be a white man, you getting beat the hell up in the damn streets. And it's just you. When are you gonna learn, man? When are you gonna realize that these nations are confederate against you?
Right.
Like the Bible says. You know what I'm saying? They all hate you. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, your only defense is this Bible, man. Your only defense is the truth. Your only defense is Christ, our King, Hamashiach Yahushua, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, man. Otherwise, who gonna defend you? Nobody, man. So like that was it.
Right. Con, sir. Yeah, it's like damn. Like, what more does have to happen? Like next they gonna get the East Indians a bill. You know what I'm saying? That's who next. Next they gonna give. Well, they already got the damn animals on the endangered species list. Like, sheesh.
If I could, while I'm reading it again, it says incentives. Please keep the track of hate crimes. Right? You read that and you think that that's talking about every hate crime that goes on in America. That ain't got nothing to do with the hate crimes that happen to you. Because every time something like man, listen. Every time a hate crime happens to you, what happens? The scripture says they hold themselves not guilty, man. They end up getting off. Because what they're doing in essence is they don't, like the police department don't think that they're doing something that's a hate crime to you. They believe that they're following protocol. They believe the pain that they inflict on you, the murder they do to you is obeying the protocols or the laws of what they do, or of the police department, or of America, upholding the Constitution. Because to them, you ain't nothing but an animal.
Right.
But an Asian is not an animal to them. An Asian is worthy to be protected. An Asian is worthy to be protected, and you ain't nothing. That's why they sick canines on you. How many times do you hear about a white man or an Asian getting a canine sicked on them? They sick animals on us. They spray us down with water hose. We are treated less than humans. We get, like in the 60s, we were getting sprayed down with water hose. Water hose, the pressure in the water hose was so high that if you got hit by the water of out of that water hose, it ripped the skin off your back, ripped the skin off your arms. Go and read about it. Read about the many of brothers and sisters, black men and Hispanic men, who marched up and down them damn streets with Martin Luther King, and them firefighters came out with them damn water hose and sprayed those water hoses at them and sprayed the skin off of them and sick canines on them at the same damn time. You are the only people that happens to. You are the only people, Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, you are the only people, and that's verifiable in the history books. You are the only people that happens to. You better recognize you are a hated people on this earth. You better recognize that you are God's chosen people, because this is what was prophesied that was going to happen to us. Our enemies were going to be brutal against us, man. We're going to be evil and torment us and torture us, and we're being tormented. We're being tormented to hell and back, man. And then they pass these laws. They pass these bills in the favor of people who hate you too.
Right.
Incentives. And they incentivize police to keep track of hate crimes. They're gonna pay these police to be real, to be real alert when it comes to to crimes against the Asians. They're gonna incentivize them. They're gonna reward them. They're gonna give them more money to pay more attention to crimes against Asians.
Good night.
It's gonna be at all of instead of there being cops protecting any black neighborhoods or black businesses from being attacked, they're gonna have police officers standing right in front of the nail salons, in front of the Chinese restaurants, in front of the massage parlors, making sure that don't nobody do any harm to Miss Kim or to Kim Lee or whatever the hell her name is. That's what they're gonna do.
Good night. Like, sir.
Crazy, man.
We are finished, man. We are destroyed in this place. It's like police gonna like you go get your nails done at the salon. Not only do you have to worry about getting beat by your nail salon stylist, now you got to worry about the police officer sitting outside the door who wants to beat you as well. Like, we are done in this place, man.
I want to say one more thing. So like,
Kind of what kind,
I
sir?
missed this point. You hear about all of the YouTube videos. I mean, you see a lot of the YouTube and Facebook videos, right? Where a sister goes into the nail salon, right? And her nails didn't get done right. And she don't feel like she got to pay because her nails were crappy. And she probably was most likely right. Her nails didn't get done right. I believe the sister. And she don't feel like she got to pay. And what does the Asians usually do? They usually lock them doors and try to keep them there until the police get here. Well, guess what? Because of this bill right here, some nigga is going to get their head knocked in because the Asian is going to call the police and says they are trying to leave without paying. And the police is going to protect that Asian. The police is going to look at that Asian and going to say, oh, we got to protect them. And any black woman up in there getting her nails done that is opposing that Asian woman is going to get her head bashed in by the damn police, man. Because that police is supposed to be protecting them Asians. You understand? So that's the society you in. You're not going to get protected anymore. As a matter of fact, the sister that got choked out over them eyelashes in that Asian store in North Carolina,
Good night.
the police ain't going to protect her. It's going to protect the Asians. The Asian is going to get the benefit of the doubt. The Asian is going to get protected. You know what I'm saying? And she, you know what's going to happen to her? She's going to get choked out by the Asian and then turn around and get arrested and probably knocked upside the head by the police and dragged off to jail. That's the place you live in today. That's the hell you live in, Black America or Black Hispanics and Native Indians. That's what you live in today.
Good night. We are in hell, man. And so, like I said, if I could, I'd have won. Like, now they ain't going to even have to call the police because they're going to be outside the door.
Right.
Like, you're going to get beat, and then the police officer going to come and beat you too.
God.
A double beating section.
You're going to get accused of stealing eyelashes. The Asian going to put you in a headlock, and then Esau going to come right behind them and put you in a headlock.
Yoke you out right there in the parking lot. Yeah, and black folk think this was a joke and a game. They thought, voting is going to help. It's going to solve all our problems. Come on, man. You see this bill they just passed. I'm going to play it a little more, sir. God damn.
Introducing the new Roku Stream Bar. Introducing the new Roku.
It's like, I don't know what happened.
The time in Washington is increasingly bitter and divided, the Senate came together today to overwhelmingly denounce and tackle hate against Asian Americans. Senators passed the COVID-19 hate crimes bill 94-1. Only the Missouri Republican Josh Hawley voted no, calling it too broad. The rest of the United States Senate disagreed.
I cannot tell you how important this bill is to the AAPI community, who often has felt very invisible in our country, to be the victims of unprovoked, just random assaults on them as they are minding their own business. As important as the content and substance of the bill is the message of this bill, that we in the Senate are going to stand with our AAPI community.
Well, the bill gives incentives to police to keep track of hate crimes. It creates a new position in the Department of Justice to speed up review of the crimes, and it works with local agencies to raise awareness of hate crime reporting, including the creation of an online reporting system.
Damn.
The bill heads to the House next. It is expected to pass in a few weeks. Then President Biden has said he'll sign it. Shep.
Well, black vote, don't get mad at ISUPK. We told you. We tried to warn you. Salaki, sir, if I could, sir, could I get Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17, sir?
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 17. As for us, our eyes as yet fail for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
And we just watched this nation not save us again. Again, this is more proof that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the 12 lost tribes of Israel, man. We are underneath these curses bad. We watch yet again. How many times have we had to watch over and over and over again as we have been failed and let down by these nations, man?
That's right.
You know, we thought Martin Luther King was going to get everything passed by when he went up there in March. It was all of our grandparents went to the city, went to the Washington, man. All of our people marched to Washington. It was thousands of us out there, man. I'm talking about if you could look back in the 60s and see how many people had marched on the Washington Monument, on the steps and streets with Martin Luther King. I'm talking about it was thousands of people. And we thought him passing that civil rights bill was going to help us, man. But damn, Salaki, let down again. Like, we see who's benefiting for the civil rights movement, man. Joe Biden let that be known the first day he got in office when he passed that bill for transgenders. That's who benefits for the civil rights movement. The Asians benefit from the civil rights movement. And this is what we voted for. This is what black folk went to the voting booth and voted for. And trust me, when we get to camp, we are going to let it be known. We are going to call you out on your BS. We're going to let you know that this is what you voted for. That Asian crime bill that was passed, this is what your vote went to benefit. Because y'all voted for Joe Biden. And Joe Biden just said if the Senate approves of this, he's going to sign the bill into existence. Not no protect the nigger bill, not no protect the Hispanic and Latino bill, not to stop the police from murderers in the street bill, but he's going to pass a bill to protect the Asians. That's what your vote push. You got sir?
Yeah, Con, if I could.
Con, sir.
And you black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man, you went out there and got them dogs sicked on you for this bill. Like what you don't understand is what they're passing for them, you had to get water hose down for. You had to have canines, German Shepherds sicked on you. You had to get threatened by the KKK, have crosses burned in your front yards, have churches bombed. That church that was bombed that killed them sisters, them babies up in that church. You know what I'm saying? They had to die for this so-called civil rights. They had to die, man. And guess what? Guess who's getting the benefits of all of it? The Asians.
Good night.
They're benefiting from everything, all the hell you had to go through following Martin Luther King and his dream and the civil rights movement. You went through all of the hell. You got beat, thrown in jail, sick dogs on you. You understand? The firefighters or the fire department spraying you down with those high-powered water hose. You understand? You being lynched. Every atrocity that has happened to you in the name of trying to integrate yourself into America, you went through that, and guess what? Asians got the results. They got the reward. They got what it was that you wanted bad. You literally integrated yourself, like Martin Luther King said, into a burning building, man. Integrated yourself into a burning building in a place that hates you. You thought life was bad for you before the civil rights. You just could not stand the fact that you couldn't go and drink out of a white man's water fountain. You just couldn't stand the fact that you couldn't go sit inside of a white man's restaurant and eat his food. You just couldn't stand the fact that you couldn't be in his bar or go to his dental practices or anything like that. You just had to be the one to go march behind Martin Luther King because Martin Luther King loves white women. He's a sexual deviant. And now, you are still a nigga in America getting treated the same way you got treated in all of the 400 years we've been here, from the beginning from the time we were brought on the shores of America, from the Ivory Coast up until now, you've been treated the same. And the only thing that has come from all of your marching and all of the things you have done to be integrated into this place is the Asians now, they reap the benefits.
Good night.
They get the protection. Everybody sat back and got the protection off of your hard work. LGBT community, the gay community. If you was gay back in the day, you were treated horribly if it came out. All they had to do was keep quiet and watch the Negroes go out there and march. All the gay community had to do was be quiet and chill and just watch the gay community. And everybody sit, the women as well. All they had to do was sit back and watch the Negroes go out there and march for civil rights. You understand? That's what the Asians and all of the other communities did. All they had to do was sit back and watch Negroes go out there and take the brunt of the punishment. And when things got passed, those things that got passed, those things were beneficial to those people, not to you niggas, because you were slaves. I don't know what you thought you was gonna get, but the Bible tells you your position in this place. You know what I'm saying? And our enemy, he hates us.
Right.
He hates us to the point where what made you think that our enemy was gonna let up on you? Was gonna allow you to just be able to live the way he lives? No. That's not the case, man. Y'all better wake up, man. That's why I thank God for the ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? Because ISUPK, we remain separate. We are building the army right now, building the nation right now that will defend Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Since we don't have nobody to do that for us. That's all I got to say about it. That's a lot.
Khan said, no, that's heavy as hell, out of one. It's like, it's like, we should get it by now, man. You would think we would get it by now, man. You would think at least by now our people got some type of realization of what's going on, man. Slack, sir, can we get that scripture again, out of one?
Slack, yeah. Lamentations 4 and Lamentations 4 and 17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us.
Right, and this nation could not save us, man. So like I said, we go to Proverbs 11 and 14 also, sir.
Proverbs 11 and 14. Where no counsel is, the people fall.
And that's what has happened. Our people, when they made these decisions to go march and start the Black Lives Matter movement, because they didn't seek real counsel.
right.
Because real counsel comes from the ISUPK, man, underneath Commander General Hunter.
That's right.
That's where you get real counsel from. So our people tuck to themselves to go out here and be wicked and make decisions of their own and look for this nation to save us, but yet our eyes have failed again, man.
That's right.
Failed again. The Asians have got what black folks have been marching for since the 60s with Martin Luther King, man.
That's right.
Like, if Martin Luther King could turn in his grave, he would do a backflip in that mother right now, man. Because for him to march, for our people to be murdered, like we did a story one time on Monday's class one time, on who Martin Luther King had inside of those marches for the civil rights. The people that were marching, you thought they were adults. Those were not adults marching in those civil rights movements in Alabama. Those were children. Those were high school students and middle school students. Martin Luther King said he had lost the support from the adults. So he went inside the church and did that little speech that you see him in the church, and you see all those young faces in there. But he did that speech inside that church and influenced all of those young brothers and sisters who were in high school and middle school to go out on the streets and march. And those brothers and sisters that went on the streets and marched, they got dogs sicked on them, man.
Oh, man.
They had water hoses sicked on them. I'm talking about, they said some of the people were as young as 8 and 9, man. We talking about our babies' ages, man. Out there march, no different than the Black Lives Matter movement today, man. Who put people in jeopardy. That's why we say Martin Luther King was a traitor and a sellout, man. Because he told your children to march in the streets of America for civil rights. Those brothers and sisters who were young back then, who had the dogs sicked on them, water hoses sprayed on them, they even said people died, man.
That's right.
People died during those civil rights marches, man.
That's right.
They don't tell you about that. They don't want to put any more shame on top of them, you know, already than the shame that they have now. But people, brothers and sisters died inside of those marches, man.
That's right.
And we did all of that just so what? In 2021, the Asians reaped the benefits of us marching and dying, water hoses being sicked on us. Come on, man. And you mean to tell me what? We should still listen to our Christian pastors when they tell us we got to love everybody? The Asians don't love everybody, and look what happened to them. They got a bill passed to protect them. It's like, sir, if I could, sir, could I get Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1, sir?
God. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord. So like it, saith the Most High.
Right, said the Most High. The Most High says destruction to the rebellious children, man, because we have been rebellious children here in the land of America, man. The ISUPK has been on the street since 1969 telling brothers and sisters, man, to come back inside this truth, to stop trying to join ourselves with America. Because like the scripture says, this is not our rest.
That's right.
America is not our rest. This isn't our land. This isn't the place to try to get yourself comfortable and establish there, man. Since 1969, you know, the ISUPK has been telling brothers and sisters to wake up and come back and serve the Most High.
That's right.
So like, sir, if you could, sir, you can read it back to the top, sir.
God. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Most High, that take counsel.
They do what?
That take counsel.
Oh, yeah, we take counsel. You got it, sir.
But not of me.
Not of the Most High, though. We take counsel from Martin Luther King. We take counsel from the Black Lives Matter movement, which was started by homosexuals.
Right.
We take counsel from, hell, you take counsel from your grandmama. Baby, you know, we did in the 60s, you know, we marched on the streets. And grandma still got a knot on the back of her head. That's the counsel she took. Grandmama took counsel from Martin Luther King, too, and she went and marched in the civil rights movement and got cracked upside the head. Like, we take counsel. Yeah, we listen. We listen. But the people who we get counsel from, it's not of the spirit of the Most High, man. If you're not getting counsel from here in the ISUPK, man, you're wasting your time, man. Why do you think all of these movements and different organizations have continued to fail, man? Because they're getting counsel, but it's not of the Most High, man. Just like Black Lives Matters here in Greenville, South Carolina. We ran into that brother who's over the organization here in Greenville, South Carolina, over the Black Lives Matter movement. We ran into the brother. We asked him questions. We spoke with the brother. And this brother really believes that he's doing justice to black people by marching us up and down the streets. But my question to that brother is, what now? What now? The Asian community just got what you're marching for. Sluts, you got something, sir?
No.
Okay. Like, they got what we've been marching for, man. What we've been taking time and getting cracked upside the head with. They have that now. So my question to all of these black organizations and black leaders outside of the UPK, what now? What's next? What are you going to do? What's next? Because the Asians have got what you're marching for. What's the plan now? Because I know a lot of y'all kicking yourselves in the tail right now as we speak. You're sitting back, your face all low, you're looking sad, you're looking beat, you're looking defeated. You're watching the news, you see the Asians, they are happy. Like now the police ain't even going, like, okay, we all know there are more illegal Asians here in America than anybody. Mm-hmm. But now with them pushing these bills, these illegal immigrants gonna be able to come on here and don't have to worry about anything. You talking about black, you talking about Hispanic brothers taking your jobs. Shh. Man, watch how much America becomes more Asian. Mm-hmm. And we all know, ISUPK, we know the reason why Joe Biden's doing this. He's trying to keep good relationships with China. China has power. These Asians have a power. Something happened to an Asian, guess what? The Asian community in China has something to say about it. But you, black man, something happened to you, your mama got to get on TV and vouch for you. Your mama got to get on TV like, damn.
It's a lot.
Sir.
Let's break this down heavier just to paint a picture, right? Something happens to an Asian man here. If the Chinese government or whatever they call themselves feel disgruntled about it, there's many things they can do against America. Embargoes, you know, they could cut off trade. So many different economical war tactics they can do against this country. A nigga die, get killed by an enemy. All he has is his mama crying on media, on TV.
Damn.
Nobody is going to make America be punished for that crime. The most a nigga can do is go out and riot, tear up a couple of buildings, set some stuff on fire. That's the most you can do.
Damn.
But you cannot heavily impact this nation at all. But I can tell you one thing, it's possible. It's possible. You could really, really make America pay for its crimes. You come into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, you serve the Most High. The Most High will give you justice. He'll give you justice that you ain't never had before, man. He'll pay. He will pay. The white man will get paid, you understand, for his crime against George Floyd and for Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown. They'll get their pay, man.
Right.
They'll get their reward for what they did. But other than this truth, you have no one to stand for you other than this truth. And guess what? You brothers and sisters in the world, y'all hate the truth. So y'all hate the only defense that y'all have. So what the hell are you gonna do now? If I was you, I'd come into this truth and get somebody and get you an army behind you, man.
Right.
Get you an angelic army behind you. Because right now, you are out there with no defense. You don't even have, like outside of this army, the ISUPK, you have no army. You have no defense. The Asians have a military. They have the Chinese has one of the biggest military. Matter of fact, the biggest military in the entire earth. They have more troops than anybody in this entire earth. The Russians, the Iranians, America, the black man. You don't have nothing to help you. You understand? So that's why the brother said it's so heavy, man. Y'all brothers and sisters, man, come into this school, get in these classes, and learn this truth.
Right.
You got that.
Kind of concept. I was going to go to Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. And like you said, out of one, we have nothing to protect us, man. Everybody has some type of form of protection. It's like we have to go to the same people who murder us in the streets and ask them for help. It's like you get attacked by a hyena, and the hyena kills something that you love. You got to go back to the same damn hyenas and be like, hey, we need your help.
Oh, God.
Hyena just looking at you like, this nigga ain't learned, have you? These gazelles just dumb, I see it, right? Let's just eat everybody. Like, we just, like, the hyena attacks one of the gazelle, kills him. We see it happen, and all the gazelles go over to where all the hyenas at. The hyenas just looking like, damn, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, or these people are just dumb as hell. Like, hey, Mr. Hyena, us gazelles, we need your help to stop you from eating us. No problem, just come over here, we got you. Come on, man, that's us as black folks. Like, we going to the same people who murder and kill us for help. Asian communities, man, they did a little bit of protesting. When that devil, and that's more proof to show you that America can hold themselves accountable for their actions, man. Because that devil that marched inside that nail salon and killed all those Asian women, America held themselves accountable for that. America decided to make a bill to protect the Asians. Before they would rather let the Chinese government get involved in it, they sat back with them each other and said, hey, listen, we got to hold ourselves accountable for this. Because if we don't, China is going to have to say something about this, about their people being murdered by one of ours.
Right.
And what do? They passed this bill. But what do they say when black people get killed by cops? Do they sit down with each other and make bills to protect us? No, they don't.
It's a life.
Kind of concept.
I just want to bring to y'all attention something, man. Something just absolutely heavy that you might have missed. I told you how in North Carolina that sister got choked out by the Asians over some eyelashes, right?
Right.
And they still passed this bill like this, right? But don't forget that when George Floyd was getting choked out, there was an Asian cop sitting right in front of him watching it happen. An Asian cop, so-called Asian American.
Watch George Floyd get murdered, and didn't nobody say anything. Like, that Asian is gonna beat that charge. This bill being passed right now, they're going to protect him. He has protection. Good night. That's heavy as hell. I don't know. We are destroyed, man. Y'all don't get it yet. We are truly destroyed here in America, man. You mean to tell me that? Listen, man. I can't even say anything. I can't even say anything, man, because it's so horrific, man. It's horrific as hell, man. Like, we go through all of this and still get the short end of the stick, man. Still get beat down and kicked. Like, we still gonna get shot and murdered by the police officers, man. We still are gonna be racially profiled by the police officers, man. Nothing is going to change for us at all, man. We did all of that marching, man. They had the Black Panther Party out there with them marching, and no justice, no peace. Come on, man. So, like, sir, you got that scripture, sir? You can read, sir?
Zephaniah chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation. not desired.
We're that nation that's not desired, man. Nobody desires us to be around, man. Like, if it was up to them, they would be happy if we could just come out of a little cage or a little hole and go back to work, make money, and when we get done, we march back down inside the little hole or the little cage and just not even be here on this earth. Just be in a dark pit somewhere, just working and going back in your pit, working and going back in your pit. Oh, you need something from the store? Get that, go back inside your little hole. That's what these nations would be happy with, man, because we are not desired, man. Nobody desires black, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man.
That's right.
Nobody desires our life. Your president, Joe Biden, who you Christians and you Democrat supporters went out and voted for, he doesn't even care about your life, man. He doesn't even desire your nation. This bastard Joe Biden went on TV and said, "You're not black if you don't vote for me." Like, damn. Like, so I'm not black because I don't vote for a white man to oppress me? So that's what they think black is, you being a sellout. That's what they think. That's what Joe Biden thinks. And you know why he thinks that? Because he hangs around a bunch of black sellouts. Because all the black sellouts, they voting for him. All the coons and Uncle Toms, they support Joe Biden. Who you think Steve Harvey supports? Donald Trump? Huh? You think he voted for Donald Trump? Who you think Al Sharpton voted for? Donald Trump? Oprah Winfrey, who you think she voted for? Like he said, you ain't black if you don't vote for me. And he knew predominantly the black community, especially the rich of black folks, gonna vote for him, man. Good night, man. We are.
It's like it. Them rich Negroes are so wicked and evil, man. They sit up there and act like they voted Democrat for the betterment of black people, man. When in reality, they voting for Democrat because that is the one party that can manipulate the hell out of the poor black people to suck every single last bit of everything they have out of that society, out of us, man. You know what I'm saying? While they sit back and get fat and rich off of us. You understand? Like Oprah Winfrey and them, all of them are so evil and they're wicked and they're the main ones that advocate for us to go out there and vote.
Right.
I mean, these rich niggas. I remember when P. Diddy led a whole campaign, vote or die.
Good night. Damn.
And niggas going and voting because P. Diddy was the forefront of vote and die, man, or vote or die. You understand? Because for some reason, you Negroes think that voting is going to change black folks when it ain't doing nothing but making the rich rich and making you poor. Of course they got to rally you up and get you to go vote. Because if you vote, you're going to put the right people in place that's going to put the money inside of these rich Negroes' pockets. And they using the fact that they're black, and they're using their influence, the fact that they're celebrities,
Right.
people that you like, they're public figures. They're using that all as a tool to get you to go vote so you can make their pockets fat. You don't even understand. You thinking, oh, this P. Diddy or this is Oprah Winfrey. She's all for black people. They love black people. And then this is going to, this is going to help us. It's going to help us. No, Negro. It's not what it's for. You ain't figured out that like America's not your heaven. Like the brother said, America's not your resting place. What you trying to rest here for?
Right.
You couldn't rest if you wanted to, Negro. It ain't no rest. It ain't no peace in this earth for you to rest. You get up, every day you get up, you got to worry about getting knocked upside the head or shot by the police. Every time you leave your house, you got to wonder or pray to the Most High that you don't get killed that day. You understand? Or that your child don't get molested. What the hell you think what the hell place do you think you're in right now?
Right.
You sitting here thinking you just in a blissful paradise. You think America's just so great, don't you? Meanwhile, Donald Trump told you what America's how he said to make America great, and he wasn't referring to make America love Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. He's referring to a time where Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians were being lynched and raped and robbed. That's the America that he likes. You understand? Like, I better wake up, man. I ain't gonna be long-winded on it. I know you got some more scriptures or whatever.
Nah, it was too wild, sir.
Say about it.
Good night, man. Man, we are truly just finished, man. It's like, sir, I was gonna say, I was gonna get Isaiah 30:2, sir.
Good. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2. That walked to go down into Egypt. That walked to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
Right.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Right, because the scripture says America is that new Egypt, man. This is the new land of bondage, and our people march down here into this land of Egypt. They want to speak to the president. They want to try to get laws passed and everything. I'll never forget that video when the Black Lives Matter movement was able to speak to Hillary Clinton. And when they got up there, they made themselves look so uneducated. Like, they got cut by Hillary Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Hillary Clinton cut the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm going to find that video and I'm going to post it. You know what I'm saying? Because our people marched down to Egypt, but they didn't ask the Most High if that was okay to do. They didn't march down to these, they marched down to these oppressors thinking they know what they're doing, but they didn't ask the Most High or seek his counsel from his priests and prophets on if this was a wise decision to do. You know what I'm saying? We don't just make moves here in the UPK. We always seek counsel before we do anything. There are laws and orders established here inside this school on what to do and what not to do. What to do and what not to do, man. But one thing we shouldn't do is be going down to these governments and begging them and asking them to do this and do that and marching on the streets as if that's going to get anything across, man. Like we said, man, the Asians have got what black folks have been dying for since the 60s, man. They have that now, man. That is a slap in the face to anybody's grandmother, grandfather who went and marched with Martin Luther King, who went and did those sit-ins, who went and sat on the front of the bus even though they knew that it was going to cause a conflict. This bill is a slap in the face to them, man.
Yeah, right.
We did all of that for what? So the Asians can get the bill that we have always wanted? Who needs that bill more now? The Asian community or the black community? Or the Latino community? Or the Native Indian community? Blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians need that bill passed like tonight for us.
That's right.
So we don't have to come outside with a target on our foreheads, man. So we don't have to get pulled over by the police because they think that we're guilty, man. You know what I'm saying? Like where we're located at right now, the police always heavy out here.
That's right.
Police pull us over just because we look suspicious. You black, you might have a gold on, you might look big. You know, they already terrified of us. They all insinuating that we are all drug dealers anyway, especially, you know, UPK. We are some of the most hardcore brothers you could ever meet besides our king, man, on the face of this earth, man. You know, when you see our faces, yes, it's terrifying. We do look like a certain type of way, but that's not us, man. That's just more of America's hatred, man. So I might get one more verse, man. So can I get 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3?
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you.
So you go ahead and say it again, sir.
Let no man deceive you by any means,
Right. Don't let no man deceive you, man. That's what we have to realize, man. Don't let these men deceive you. We have been deceived by Joe Biden, by our Christian pastors and our leaders, man. We have been deceived yet again, man. We've been tricked and bamboozled, man. And it is a horrible thing to see because I know it's tons of black folks who are part of these black organizations who went and voted for Joe Biden and thought things were going to change, you know. Brothers and sisters just knew things were going to change. You know, they was in the streets marching and happy, and they thought things were going to really change. But they've been watching lately on the news and seeing that nothing has never changed, man.
That's right.
We're still living in the same hell, man. All right, with that, I'm going to close the class out. All right. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into school, they are off limits for 6 months. They ought to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, a teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Select it. The brother and sister will select it. There is another 6 months in which a brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 through 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering. For priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. All right. The next upcoming holy convocation, it will be the Feast of First Fruits. It starts after the Sabbath. It'll be Sunday, May 2nd, 2021. You count 50 days, and you celebrate the 50th day, which will be Sunday, June 20, 2021. And it starts before sundown. You can read about this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 10 through 22. All right. Announcements. Slackers. Remind occupant Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. Salute, sir. Men of Israel, we're going to do one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah. We're going to do one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men, we're going to turn the face on the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Shema Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right. With that, dismiss.